Welcome back to the channel, good friends. Brian from Apex Detail. Yes, we do correct and protect motorcycles, and I thought it would be a good time to touch upon the subject. Don't let the small surface area fool you. Labor can eat up a day or two easily, especially with all the intricate designs and all the little tiny parts and tight areas to reach. So let me show you how we go about correcting them and protecting them. This one here has not been touched yet, and as you can tell, they'll pick up road splatter and traffic film and bonded contaminants just like any other automobile out there. So I'm going to show you how we tackle that type of job. The one next to it has been completely finished. It's corrected and protected, coated and cured. Looks fantastic. The paint is back to better than new. The chrome is nice and bright and shiny and reflective. The seats and the plastic, they're protected, nice, dark, and rich, and it's ready to cruise. Time to get to work, and the first thing I am going to address is the bug splatter. By the way, bug splatter, tree fallout, pine sap, bird droppings, all highly acidic, and if the sun is out within an hour, those areas it can start to etch and burn into your clear coat, PPF, and even coatings. So, if you're out for a ride, especially in the evening, and you come back and you notice problem areas that I just described, if you have a pressure washer or pressurized water or a strong hose, definitely rinse the areas and then dry. Use your leaf blower or drying towels, and that will save you a ton of headaches. I'm going to use the Fireball bug remover, bug splatter remover. It's excellent. Just liberally spray it on the affected areas. Let it sit for a couple minutes, and you can wipe off, you can rinse off, you can follow up with a rinseless wash, which is exactly what I'm going to do, and it works very effectively. By the way, today for the rinseless wash, I'm using Elegance from Extreme Solutions, another favorite at the shop here. You can use it as a quick detailer, also as a drying aid, many uses, and I like it coming out of this mist sprayer here. This one here, you can't go crazy putting all types of chemicals in this one. They do have different versions of these sprayers that you could put more alkaline or acidic liquids in them. But for this one here, I'll just put detailers and topicals. And they do an excellent job. You don't have to keep pulling the trigger to spray. Prime the pump, pull the trigger, hold it, and the mist will atomize and keep coming out. And they're a great tool. All right, now I'm satisfied that the bug splatter and some other bonded contaminants that were attached to the chrome and painted surfaces are removed. I can continue on, clean the rest of the bike thoroughly with the rinseless wash solution. Having a bike lift, and they have some at Harbor Freight and other areas, hey, that is a bonus. If you don't, no big deal. You're still going to get it around the vehicle in about the same amount of time. Just be prepared to have some mats to lay on. You need to get down, especially on the side that the bike lean towards, and make sure you have all the dirt on the lower surfaces of that bike. Now, speaking of all the surfaces, we are going to tear down the bike to a certain extent. What parts can come off of this will come off, and that starts with the saddlebags and the seat and the back rests and some of the other side covers. What can come off will come off, so we can get to some of the more tight, intricate areas to clean them and protect them. If the parts are painted, it also makes it much easier to correct them, separating them from the bike. You don't need to be so picky with the polisher you choose. Removing the seat is also important to me as well. Two problem areas on top of the rear fender and also the gas tank. Where the seat rubs against it, it does put some wear and tear on that paint, and that can be easily corrected. Everything's clean and I'm satisfied everything is dirt and dust free. So let's work on the chrome. The chrome is the next step, and on some bikes, especially these, the touring bikes, there's a lot of chrome on them. I don't go crazy with metal and metal polishing. I do have one, two, or maybe three types of metal polishes. They're just cleaner polishes. Nothing really quite complicated about them. I don't have many machines to work metals anymore, as we really concentrate on paint here at the shop, but we can clean certain metals, and we use Brasso for that purpose. Here's an example of kind of the extent as to how we'll go and work with the metals on a bike. A little bit of some light rust or oxidation, and the Brasso cleans it up very well, even by hand. And here you can see, with very little effort, the chrome is clean. It's not very abrasive, so it doesn't mar up the chromed surfaces, but does clean it up, brings back some excellent reflective surfaces. Continue this process all the way around the bike by hand, and depending on how much chrome it has, sometimes it can eat up a nice portion of the day. Okay, moving right along, the chrome is now nice and bright and shiny and reflective. We can now concentrate on the painted surfaces, such as the rear fender here, where the seat was rubbing against it, causing some wear and tear. We'll also be chasing some love marks and swirls and some scratches. But something I can share with you, unlike other vehicles like cars and trucks, you'll hear me mention some of the American vehicles have a hard, stubborn clear coat, and some of the Asian-made vehicles, soft and thin. That's just the way it is. All trending towards soft and thin, but cars made 2-3 years ago and older, that's exactly how it was. For this particular painted finish, we're going to use the team of Eurofiber Pad and the 3D ACA 520. That is the perfect combination or team to remove imperfections like swirls, light rub marks from the seats, topical imperfections. Some deeper scratches, if you do get them. Again, you can use wet sanding, 3000 grit, and just polish out from there. With the residue removed, you'll see this combination of this team is just right for this surface. Now, I will add another step. That all is really contingent on the budget of the package you're working on, but I like to add the step for soft clear coats. As I mentioned, this is a soft finish, and we want to bring out the best clarity and depth to this surface. So let me go around and finish removing the etching and other imperfections on the rest of the painted panels here, and we'll get to that next step. And that's going to include a black application pad and IGL finish F3, a very fine abrasive. And this pad here, it's an application pad you'll use to apply waxes and sealants, but it's perfect for this jeweling stage, for lack of a better word, on softer clear coats to finish up any hazing left behind from the cutting stage. All right, now this is what I'm looking for here, and I'll bring in this roll finder or the paint correction light, make sure everything is just the way I like it, and we'll move on, take care of the rest of these panels. And on a motorcycle, you're always going to have tight, real sharp angles and parts sticking out everywhere, so you just need to adjust and break out the polisher that fits that particular panel. With the correction complete, we want to remove all residue and oils from the polishing stage, and we'll use IGL Pre-Coat for that. Next on the list, any leather, seats, or saddlebags on the bike. We're going to take care of Angel Wax Heaven for leather, and we'll use a soft detailing brush to clean it up. Lather it up, clean it up, and protect it. And moving right along, Geon Leather Shield. That's going to be the source of protection for me today. Now, application of leather coatings. Do not fear as you're first starting to lay down the first layer of your coating. It may look a little bit glossy and have a sheen to it. That will not stay. It will cure looking and feeling natural, as it already is starting to here. You won't slide off the seat. The shop manager could care less, however. All right, next on the list, we're going to start to protect areas that are just too tight to get your fingers in. So I'll use IGL Eclipse here, and I'm going to spray that in there so I don't have to worry about wiping it off. This is self-leveling. It is an industrial grade, and normally the tighter spots are in and around the engine and exhaust anyway, so it's perfect. The industrial grade strength will put up with higher temperatures, so it's perfect. We move on to areas where I can reach and apply by hand, and we'll use our metal oxide coating. And this will be applied to other chrome pieces, some plastic pieces, any other smaller leather areas, and also the rest of the painted surfaces. Don't forget to protect the wheels. It makes it so much easier to clean. The front and especially the rear wheels on these baggers and cruisers can really be a nightmare to get to. And with that done, we let it cure overnight and start putting everything back together again. And with everything back together, we'll give it one final wipe down and then walk around and enjoy the results. The owner is now here. Let's pull it out into direct sunlight or out into the daylight, and one more walk around just to enjoy the results and watch the owner right into the sunset. That will do it for today's video. I hope you enjoyed. If you have any questions at all, put them down in the comments section. The bike packages here start at $750, and I just wanted to share with you today how we take care of them.